Hunted Down by Charles Deakins. 1. Most of us see some romances in life. In my capacity as chief manager of a life assurance office, I think I have, within the last 30 years, seen more romances than the generality of men, however unpromising the opportunity may, at first sight, seem. As I have retired and live at my ease, I possess the means that I used to want, of considering what I have seen at leisure. My experiences have a more remarkable aspect, so reviewed, than they have had when they were in progress. I have come home from the play now, and can recall the scenes of the drama upon which the curtain has fallen, free from the glare, bewilderment, and the bustle of the theatre. Let me recall one of these romances of the real world. There is nothing truer than physiognomy, taken in connection with manner. The art of reading that book, of which eternal wisdom obliges every human creature to present his or her own page with the individual character written on it, is a difficult one perhaps, and is little studied. It may require some natural aptitude, and it must require, for everything does, some patience and some pains. That these are not usually given to it, that numbers of people accept a few stock commonplace expressions of the face as the whole list of characteristics, and neither seek nor know the refinements that are truest. That you, for instance, give a great deal of time and attention to the reading of music, Greek, Latin, French, Italian, Hebrew, if you please, and do not qualify yourself to read the face of the master or mistress looking over your shoulder, teaching it to you, I assume to be 500 times more probable than improbable. Perhaps a little self-sufficiency may be at the bottom of this. Facial expression requires no study from you, you think. It comes by nature to you, to know enough about it, and you are not to be taken in. I confess, for my part, that I have been taken in over and over again. I have been taken in by acquaintances, and I have been taken in, of course, by friends, far oftener by friends than by any other class of persons. How came I to be so deceived? Had I quite misread their faces? No, believe me, my first impression of those people, founded on face and manner alone, was invariably true. My mistake was in suffering them to come nearer to me and explain themselves away. The partition which separated my own office from our general outer office in the city was of thick plate glass. I could see through it what passed in the outer office without hearing a word. I had it put up in a place of a wall that had been there for years, ever since the house was built. It is no matter whether I did or did not make the change in order that I might derive my first impression of strangers, who came to us on business, from their faces alone, without being influenced by anything else they said. Enough to mention that I turned my glass partition to that account, and that a life assurance office is at all times exposed to be practiced upon by the most crafty and cruel of the human race. It was through my glass partition that I first saw the gentleman whose story I am going to tell. He had come in without my observing it, and had put his hat and umbrella on the broad counter, and was bending over it to take some papers from one of the clerks. He was about 40 or so, dark, exceedingly well dressed in black, being in mourning, and the hand he extended with a polite air had a particularly well-fitting black kid glove upon it. His hair, which was elaborately brushed and oiled, was parted straight up the middle, and he presented this parting to the clerk exactly, to my thinking, as if he had said, in so many words, "You must take me, if you please, my friend, just as I show myself. Come straight up here, follow the gravel path, Keep off the grass, I allow no trespassing. I conceived a very great aversion to that man the moment I thus saw him. He had asked for some of our printed forms, and the clerk was giving them to him and explaining them. An obliged and agreeable smile was in his face, and his eyes met those of the clerk with a sprightly look. I have known a vast quantity of nonsense talked about bad men not looking you in the face. Don't trust that conventional idea. Dishonesty will stare honesty out of countenance, and any day in the week, if there is anything to be got by it. I saw in the corner of his eyelash that he became aware of my looking at him. Immediately he turned the parting in his hair towards the glass partition, as if he said to me with a sweet smile, "Straight up here, if you please, off the grass." In a few moments he had put on his hat and taken up his umbrella and was gone. I beckoned the clerk into my room and asked, "Who was that?" He had the gentleman's card in his hand. "Mr. Julius Slington, Middle Temple." "A barrister, Mr. Adams?" "I think not, sir." "I should have thought him a clergyman, but for his having no reverend here," said I. "Probably from his appearance," Mr. Adams replied. "He is reading for orders." I should mention that he wore a dainty white cravat and dainty linen altogether. "What did he want, Mr. Adams?" "Merely a form of proposal, sir, and form of reference." "Recommended here, did he say?" "Yes, he said he was recommended here by a friend of yours. He noticed you, but said that he had... Okay. He noticed you, but said that as he had not the pleasure of your personal acquaintance, he would not trouble you." "Did he know my name?" "Oh, yes, sir," he said. "Oh, yes, sir," he said. "There is Mr. Simpson, I see." "A well-spoken gentleman, apparently." "Remarkably so, sir." "Insinuating manners, apparently." "Very much so indeed, sir." "Huh," said I. "I want nothing at present, Mr. Adams." Within a fortnight of that day, I went to dine with a friend of mine, a merchant, a man of taste, who buys pictures and books, and the first man I saw among the company was Mr. Julius Slington. There he was, standing before the fire, with good large eyes and an open expression of face, but still, I thought, requiring everybody to come at him by the prepared way he offered, and by no other. I noticed him ask my friend to introduce him to Mr. Simpson, and my friend did so. Mr. Slington was very happy to see me. Not too happy. There was no overdoing of the matter, happy in a thoroughly well-bred, perfectly unmeaning way. "I thought you had met," our friend observed. "No," said Mr. Slington. "I did look in at Mr. Sampson's office on your recommendation, but I really did not feel justified in troubling Mr. Sampson himself on a point in the everyday routine of an ordinary clerk." I said I should have been glad to show him any attention on our friend's introduction. "I'm sure of that," said he, "and am much obliged. At another time, perhaps, I may be less delicate. Only, however, if I have real business, for I know, Mr. Sampson, how precious business time is, and what a vast number of impertinent people there are in the world." I acknowledged his consideration with a slight bow. "You were thinking," said I, "of effecting a policy on your life." "Oh dear, no. I'm afraid I'm not so prudent as you pay me the compliment of supposing me to be, Mr. Sampson. I merely inquired for a friend. But you know what friends are in such matters. Nothing may ever come of it. I have the greatest reluctance to trouble men of business with inquiries for friends, knowing the probabilities to be 1,000 to 1 that the friend will never follow them up. People are so fickle, so selfish, so inconsiderate. Don't you in your business find them so every day, Mr. Sampson? I was going to give a qualified answer, but he turned his smooth white parting on me with its "straight up here, if you please," and I answered, "Yes." "I hear, Mr. Sampson," he resumed presently, for our friend had a new cook, and dinner was not so punctual as usual, "that your profession has recently suffered a great loss." "In money," said I. He laughed at my ready association of loss with money, and replied, "No, in talent and vigour." Not at once following out his allusion, I considered for a moment. "Has it sustained a loss of that kind?" said I. "I was not aware of it." "Understand me, Mr. Sampson, I don't imagine that you have retired. It is not so bad as that. But Mr. Meltham—" "Oh, to be sure," said I. "Yes, Mr. Meltham, the young actuary of the Inestimable." "Just so," he returned in a consoling way. "He is a great loss. He was at once the most profound, the most original, and the most energetic man I have ever known connected with life assurance." I spoke strongly, for I had a high esteem and admiration for Meltham, and my gentleman had indefinitely conveyed to me some suspicion that he wanted to sneer at him. He recalled me to my guard by presenting that trim pathway up his head, with its internal "not on the grass, if you please, the gravel." "You knew him, Mr. Slington?" "Only by reputation. To have known him as an acquaintance or as a friend is an honour I should have sought if he had remained in society, though I might never have had the good fortune to attain it, being a man of far inferior mark. He was scarcely above 30, I suppose?" "About 30." "Ah," he sighed, in his former consoling way, "what creatures we are, to break up, Mr. Sampson, and become incapable of business at that time of life. Any reason assigned to that melancholy fact?" Thought I, as I looked at him. "But I won't go up the track, and I will go on the grass." "What reason have you heard assigned, Mr. Slington?" I asked point blank. "Most likely a false one. You know what rumour is, Mr. Sampson. I never repeat what I hear. It is the only way of parting the nails and shaving the head of rumour. But when you ask me what reason I have heard assigned for Mr. Malcolm's passing away from among men, it is another thing. I am not gratifying idle gossip then. I was told, Mr. Sampson, that Mr. Meltham has relinquished all his avocations and all his prospects." "I was told, Mr. Sampson, that Mr. Meltham had relinquished all his avocations and all his prospects because he was, in fact, broken-hearted." "A disappointed attachment, I heard, though it hardly seems probable in the case of a man so distinguished and so attractive." "Attractions and distinctions are no armour against death," said I.